Team Moderna. We'll be there in a week. But anyway, so that would be exciting. 12 to 15, right? So because Moderna right now is 16 plus. I'm sorry, Pfizer is 16 plus. Moderna is 18 plus right now. So
no, I think you're reversed. I think Pfizer's 18 plus and Moderna's 16 and over. I think Moderna's better on that.
Whatever, Rain Woman. Definitely. Definitely Pfizer's. Okay, it doesn't matter. My point is we'll be able to fill in the gap, which is huge for herd immunity 12 and up. So please do it as soon as it is available. This is what one of the doctors on TV, Jody, was talking about. Herd immunity. And this is the problem is now all of us vaccinated people, she said, I don't want to be places with unvaccinated people that could get my children sick because kids can't be immunized yet. There's a million reasons why people don't want to be around unvaccinated people or don't want to know. And she said, again, the same reason I read your tweet about that you're still wearing a mask because you don't know how many people are not vaccinated and they're more likely to have it and to spread it to you, even if you're vaccinated.
Yeah, and unlike you, I don't go into crowded hiking areas. Where I walk, the earth like Cain, we all are pretty much, 20 or 30 feet. And some people are giving me looks now, which they didn't before. And I'm like, I'm still masked up for 3 hours a day. I'm the earth.
I'm loaded for bear if someone tells me not to wear a mask. I'm ready to.
I haven't been told that. I've been glared at a couple times.
Yeah, Mama says knock you out. You tell me to take my mask. It's crowded is relative because where I hike, you probably can mostly distance 6 feet if you want to from people. It's not like Manhattan. Rude was saying that, they're all wearing masks because it's everywhere. It's crowded in New York pretty much. But this is just depressing, right, Jody? Chris was saying there's a story this morning out of Israel that some experts are saying maybe they could get to herd immunity at 60%, but it sounds like
as low as 60%.
As low as 60%, right? But it doesn't sound like that's what they're saying here, right? That because of variants and that it's actually gone up to 80
I like the fact that Budweiser is now offering a free Bud to people that are vaccinated. So that might get some people say that were hesitant before that maybe like beer. I don't know, Judge Kavanaugh.
Where's the beer song, Sean? Oh, we have to use that to celebrate New Jersey are doing a shot in a beer. Get it?
They're doing it too.
Yeah. Perfect. Get
shot in a beer. Get it?
Happens.
You get your shot. You get a beer.
Oh, what is the malted liquor? What gets you drunker quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans?
Whatever it takes.
How we really love it. Makes me think I'm a man. I could kiss and hug it, but I'd rather chug it. Got my belly out to here. I could not refuse it. I could really use a beer. Beer.
I get it. A shot in a beer. Ha ha ha. You did funny. Okay.
Do what it takes. Come on, Milwaukee. Let's go.
So with daily vaccination rates slipping, there's widespread consensus among scientists, public health experts that the herd immunity threshold is not attainable, at least not in the foreseeable future, perhaps not ever. Ooh, depressing. Instead, they are coming to the conclusion that rather than making long-term promised exit, the virus will most likely become a manageable threat that will continue to circulate in the United States for years to come. Thanks, COVIDiots.
That's what I was saying.
Thanks, mask holes. Thanks, everybody, for all your help.
Yeah.
As soon as the variants began, I was like, this is going to be the flu. We're going to have to get booster shots for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Well, they're still causing hospitalizations and deaths, but in much smaller numbers. How much smaller is uncertain. Depends on how much of the nation and the world becomes vaccinated, how the coronavirus evolves. It's already clear that the virus is changing too quickly. New variants are spreading too easily, and vaccination is proceeding too slowly for herd immunity to be within reach anytime soon. Vaccinations, once again, remain the key. To transforming the virus into a controllable threat, according to experts. So they had said the target herd immunity was estimated to be 60 to 70%, which I don't know. I guess, Israel will be an experiment before us because they don't have COVIDiots and mask holes. But
there's not a certain number that scientists are landing on. It's a big range.
Right. But that was because the initial calculations were based on contagiousness of the original version of the virus, the predominant variant now, right? The UK one here, blah, blah, blah. The predominant variant circulating now is about 60% more transmissible. So, Rain Woman, do the math on that. As a result, experts now calculate the herd immunity threshold to be at least 80%. if even more contagious variants develop, oh, great. Or if scientists find that immunized people can still transmit the virus, the calculation will have to be revised upward again. So, yeah, so this was one scientist, this was an interesting explanation. If the coverage is 95% in the U.S. as a whole, but 70% in some small town, the virus doesn't care. It will make its way around the small town, which is why I'm not going to any of these red unvaccinated areas.
Same
right?
here.
Yeah.
I don't. Jody, help mommy. Why is it not in everyone's interest, business-wise and otherwise, to just get vaccinated? Make people feel safe traveling there, going to your restaurant, going to your gym, getting on your plane, going to your town, right?
It's funny. They scream about freedom, but this is the one way to get it back. I mean, I have a relative of mine who lives down in San Diego who literally is going to "Don't Mask Us" a rally this weekend. And it's and she works in the healthcare industry. Yeah. She should know better.
These people are contrarian. You know, they're contrarian. And last weekend, and it was like this during the Spanish flu too. There was a large segment of the population that didn't mask, thought it was all fake.
Fox News back during, right?
But still, we did
have yellow journalism. We had yellow journalism. These Jody, were pushing all of this back
What were you going to say, Jody? You were in the middle of
something.
Well,
last week we were driving through Toluca Lake Burbank on Magnolia, and there's a restaurant called the Tin Horn Flats that was closed down because they kept letting people in against COVID health regulations. So a bunch of Trump-supporting mask idiots were outside, give us our freedom, let us get back to work, let us drink our beer. And it's like, get vaccinated and we can all do that again.
Yes.
Dummies.
Yes. I don't get. And also, weren't these the people that were all screaming for herd immunity? But the way they wanted to get there is we all get it and die, like millions of us. That literally was right? Dr. Atlas and Fox News and the Trump administration, they were rooting for herd immunity. That was their plan, except in their plan, millions, literally, I can't remember the number, Jody. Maybe you, Rain Woman, maybe you remember. There was a number, there were literally
3 million people dead.
Yeah,
How many?
2 to 3 million people.
At least, right. That was their plan. 3 million of us would have to die to get, so all the people rooting for, now we have, science has given us a medical miracle, which by the way is not too new. They've been working on it for years, this technology. It's not some, I don't know what's in it, it's too new. It's, okay. Anyway, science has given us a way out, and people, that is what's endlessly, it's like, okay, you've been screaming for herd immunity for how long? Here it is. Here's how we get here without 3 million of us dying. And they're like, oh no, freedom. I'm like, but you just
and they want to give Donald Trump credit for the vaccine, for the hoax that they don't want to take the vaccine, that they want to give him credit for. I just don't, the cognitive dissonance is strong in these people.
Yeah. So lastly, over time, if enough people are protected, highly contagious variants may develop that can break through vaccine protection, land people in the hospital, and put them at risk of death. That is the nightmare scenario, said one epidemiologist. And this is what, again, Dr. Redlener, Dr. Fauci have been warning forever. That's the wild card, Jody, is the variants. And this is, again, my 98-year-old mom. And I'm like, where are you likely to get a variant? Traveling in an airport, on a plane, right? And so I'm back in this same dilemma I was at Christmas, where I took the risk and I got COVID. So I'm understandably gun shy, but the problem is because not enough people are gun shy. People are just like, there's the fact that a lot of these people never stopped living normally or whatever they want to call it. It's just, but to go, you can do that, but without risk of getting hospitalized or dying. Like, yes, if enough of us take the vaccine, we can all live quote unquote normally, right? But these are people that never wore a mask, never distanced, don't plan on, it's just, Jody, I'm so tired of the rest of us having to try to do the work of being responsible humans for these, people. For instance, Claudia from Oregon, we were talking about it should be a no-brainer to vaccinate the troops. Claudia said, I grew up in the military. Father was a 30-year officer and pilot. Not only did he not have a choice, dependents didn't either. When the polio vaccine was released, mom, me, 4 siblings, every dependent on the base were ordered to report to receive our vaccine.
Absolutely. I don't understand why they're allowed to say no in the military of all things.
It's the emergency use authorization.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying, that it's the emergency.
Well, isn't Pfizer applying, like, maybe this summer they're going to get full authorization? I read
that would be great. That would be great. Then we could, force the military to take their shots. But as of right now, because it's emergency use authorization, they can opt out.
But haven't enough people now been inoculated with Pfizer and Moderna at this point to know that the science is there? Because very few people have gotten it.
Studies don't work that way. Yeah.
I mean, there's millions of us now.
Point of order.
It has to be a scientific study.
Point of order. This is an emergency, but okay. Killed almost 600,000 Americans.
Yeah.
Fair.
Once in a not
even
even more than a generation pandemic, right?
And that's why it's under emergency use authorization, because it is an emergency.
Right. But I just, again, Jody, scientists can't explain enough. This is not new. They don't, scientists aren't in hammocks doing pandemics. They're working. They've been working on this mRNA technology for years. So, okay.
There's been a coronavirus vaccine under development for over 10 years now. It's just like COVID-19 is the first coronavirus that we've been able to apply it to.
Right. Yes, exactly. But anyway, there's overwhelming data, Jody, that it is safe and effective, and it's just okay.
Well, just as anecdotally, with 100 million plus people having been given up to all three vaccines, and very few hospitalizations or deaths from them, suggests that they're safe.
Right.
That's not how the scientific process works.
I know it doesn't work like that, Chris. I understand
that.
But I mean, come on, with 100 million people being half vaxxed at this point, suggests that
that's a pretty big test pool.
That's a big sample.
Yeah, it's a pretty big sample size. Well, I mean, what you were just saying about these idiots screaming. Nancy Pelosi estimated a day after the address, we saw the socially distanced presidential address, that 75% of House members have been vaccinated. Until more members get vaccinated, the House won't return to pre-pandemic operations. Pelosi said at the same time, numerous Republicans have been pushing Democratic leaders to end pandemic restrictions in the Capitol, even though some of them aren't taking the steps recommended by health experts. Here we go, right?
Do you think some of the people in the GOP are lying about being vaccinated?
Probably, but first of all, every socially distanced House floor vote is now capped at 30 minutes instead of 45. Pelosi said, Republicans come up to me and say, let's shorten the time for votes. I said, well, tell your friends to get vaccinated. That will help. I mean, that's what I mean. It's just such an easy equation. Here's who gets the dummy award. What's his name? Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky, who will not get vaccinated. During Biden's address, he questioned why the president was exempt from rules requiring that everyone in the House chamber wear a mask. Really? The president during a State of the Union or whatever it is, first of all, he's vaccinated. Pelosi and Harris are vaccinated, who are the only ones anywhere near him.
6 feet from anybody.
Really?
I mean, come on.
And they're just so, are you 8? How come the president doesn't have to wear my money? Really? You're going to give the State of the Union for an hour with a mask on when you're fully vaccinated and all the people near you are. How come the president is flying places? You're not supposed to go anywhere.